Honestly, I feel like we don't deserve Jon Favreau. We also don't deserve Dave Filoni either. It's insane what those guys do and what they've done for Star Wars. Anyways, I know this is a little bit late, sorry. I want to talk about Season 2, Episode 1 of The Mandalorian, which is just amazing on so many levels. But I do want to be very clear with you guys, this is a fictional show made up by the Rebels about a fictional fantasy world where the Empire was destroyed, the second Death Star was destroyed, and the Rebels won, the terrorists won. Obviously, didn't actually happen. Will never happen. But this takes place 5 years after supposedly the second Death Star was destroyed. Just throwing that out there really quick. I know all of you are loyal citizens. So from that perspective of this just being a complete fabrication, the one thing I really like about it is showing how much chaos there is post having the Empire taken out, and how there's just this power vacuum, and the rebels didn't think that through and go, maybe killing a bunch of people and doing terrible things would cause a bunch of instability in the galaxy. So I'm really enjoying even this fictional world, and the fact that even in it they show they're just terrible. They're the worst. I don't know about you, I always love seeing Tatooine. I have nothing but love for Tatooine. I'm really happy we didn't deal with a Sarlacc. I was very concerned. But then, once they revealed a Krayt Dragon was the one that killed the Sarlacc, oh shit. And honestly, this episode was an amazing combination of horror and Western and sci-fi and Star Wars, and it's just so cool. So cool. The music is phenomenal, and I know Star Wars music in general has always been really good. It's just kind of sickening how good a lot of Star Wars music is. But all the music for this show, how they use certain themes like the Mando theme or, the Child, is just, and they alter it in ways to fit what's going on, and it's perfect. The music so far has been perfect. So, there you go, Rebels, you got one thing going for you. I have to say, I know this is super stupid, and this is just my problem with animals, despite, yes, I do eat the meat of animals, but the thought of animals and seeing animals being hurt or killed really messes with me. And so I know they were CGI. I know they were special effects, or maybe they were even practical effects, but the thing is the banthas weren't living, breathing creatures, right? Right. So them being eaten by a CGI monster shouldn't be a big deal, but I hated it. I hate that they were leaving these sacrifices, and that the Mando held that bantha so the dragon could go and swallow them and basically just force that bantha to be a sacrifice. That's fucked. Something the Rebels would do. Here's also something that I don't understand, by the way, the monsters out in the dark, super terrifying. Nightmares about that after I saw that. But when the Mando said, hey, you're not gonna die by my hand, you used your hand to shoot your gun to shut off the light, which was over the dude, which caused the creatures to kill him. So it technically was by your hand. That's like saying, well, the gun killed them. I didn't kill them. Yeah, you fucking did. I know a lot of people don't like nostalgia bait, and they feel like Star Wars, especially since Disney took over, has been really hard on nostalgia. I totally get it. I understand animosity towards it. I'm enjoying it. R5, the fact that we get to see him again, and he even has the spot from where he had the bad motivator blow, is just... they're fun little nods, and I know a lot of people get angry, and they're like, the Star Wars universe is too connected, this doesn't make any sense, but I like it, so I don't know. It's okay if you don't like it, but I do. Something I think we really need to talk about, Baby Yoda's ears. watching the wind blow through them or him duck down in something and then pointing up is just the most goddamn adorable thing I've ever seen. And I am sickened by the level of heart palpitations I've had watching scenes of this fucking little Muppet. Cobb was there. I know for people that aren't into other canon, they don't necessarily know what's going on, so it was a surprise to them seeing Boba Fett's armor on just this random person, or maybe they thought it was Boba Fett even though the body type just, you know, you could tell that armor did not fit the person it was for. But there are those of us that have read the Aftermath books, and in the interludes is about Cobb, and they are really good. We saw a version, the flashback to how he dealt with the whole mining issue and everything was from an interlude. But there is a little bit of canon conflict with what was shown in the show, and that has added some new theories to when exactly certain little bits in his interludes in the Aftermath books actually take place. So if you have some of those theories you want to talk about, I know that's a hot topic right now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the conspiracy theories and just the messing around with. What if it's not what we thought it was? I'm actually kind of sad that Cobb no longer has the armor. I'm kind of thankful he doesn't, though, because I really enjoy him. But can I just stop really quick and say the gentleman that plays Cobb, Timothy Oliphant? Ridiculously handsome. I did not visualize Cobb being that handsome, and I liked him in the Aftermath books. I did not think I was going to like him to the level I did with his on-screen presentation. But I was going to, it's a good thing that the Mando took the armor, because we see actual Boba Fett is back and was gunning to get his armor back, and if the Mando hadn't taken it from Cobb, most likely, I'm guessing Boba Fett would have just straight up fucking shanked him. Or sniped him. And so I think, honestly, the Mando taking it saved Cobb's life. You can disagree with me, though. Feel free to. Just makes you a rebel scum. The ending with them fighting the Krayt Dragon was absolutely amazing, and the scale of that creature and how they used the camera to convey it, absolutely insane. I loved everything about it, the bile shooting from it, just watching people die, and I mean, that dragon was a bamf. There's a reason to be afraid of it. But that whole fight scene and them dealing with it just was really enjoyable. And I am not the type of person at all that enjoys mindless action or just violence for violence. I get bored very easily with violence and stuff like that. So the fact that this captivated me the entire time says a lot. Yeah, I just want to say, though, at the end, the amount of Bantha cruelty in this episode was off the charts. And I think maybe the rebels need some counseling, a little therapy. Do you guys love the joke that Boba Fett's jetpack goes off for, like, no fucking reason at all? I am enjoying seeing Tusken Raiders, by the way. I also love how they've been humanizing the Jawas and the Tusken Raiders and adding a lot more depth to them. Also Tatooine in general. I feel like a lot of people were sick of Tatooine. Like, honestly, anytime there was a desert planet in general, people were sick of it. But they are adding so much to Tatooine and the lore there and the creatures, and I think it's amazing. Screw those spider things. Seriously. Not cool. Okay, I think this was another brilliant episode. I loved it. Obviously not as much as episode 1, but it had Cobb and Fett in it, so it's gonna be really hard to beat that. Though, maybe there might be some bigger surprises this season, so maybe they will absolutely beat episode 1. But this episode didn't. But that doesn't mean it was shitty. And I know a lot of people don't like filler episodes, and it agitates them a little bit, especially since we didn't see a lot of forward progress with the storyline, but I don't know. I'm easily amused. Plus, this show is so amazing that I'm loving it every second. I kind of wonder if the Razor Crest is going to be destroyed every season multiple times. It just kind of seems like it's lot in life. I did like, though, I think it was a great way to end the episode with the Razor Crest limping along through space. I feel bad for the Mando, though. He had one job, and that's just caused just this cascade of bad things to happen, and his ship is constantly getting messed up. I'm assuming they're going to keep upgrading the ship, and that's kind of where we're going with what happened here. So I'm actually excited to see the upgrades to the Razor Crest. I don't know about you. Speaking of the job, though, the child or Baby Yoda, whatever you want to call it, I can't wait till we actually give him a name and Yoda's species a name so that we can just get on with it. Because most of us are just normal people and we're like, oh yeah, you can call it the child or Baby Yoda, that's fine. But there's like this very tiny part of the Star Wars fan base that is like, don't call it Baby Yoda. Otherwise, I'm just gonna fucking stab your cats to death, and it's weird. Anyways, I absolutely hated the child this episode. I think him eating the eggs, even though they were unfertilized, just was absolutely disgusting. And we know that he has a certain level of understanding, and that the Mando has been able to convey to him, like, hey, this isn't okay, you can't do that. Even though at times, yeah, he does go against what the Mando says. And I also get that he's basically a toddler, even though he's 50 years old. But, and toddlers put everything in their mouths and try to eat shit. I've seen it plenty of times, even though I do not have children of my own. Thank God. But still, it was pretty fucked up. And it was even more fucked up after the Mando told Baby Yoda, like, no, don't do that, and the reasoning behind it. And then at the very end of the episode, when Baby Yoda's, like, looking at her egg stash and she's wrapping around, and then he turns around and, like, slips another egg in his mouth. It's like, dude, you're kind of a fucking sociopath. Like, that's seriously messed up. And I love Baby Yoda, okay? His little ears flapping in the wind, his little facial expressions, cuddling up against the Mando, sitting in his lap. I fucking love it. But Baby Yoda's kind of a douche. I don't know. He has a frog obsession is his problem. And so he saw a frog lady's babies, and he thought, yum. Speaking of the frog lady, I do like seeing other non-human species, races in the Star Wars universe. To me, it's a lot of fun, especially seeing how they communicate and their culture and even their movements, such as she's walking on two legs, and then when shit gets real and she needs to GTFO, she starts leaping like a frog and going faster than even the Mando. Little things like that, I think, are a lot of fun, and I enjoy them. Her using the vocabulator of the deassembled droid Zero, I think, was also really cool. A little eerie hearing that droid's voice translating a frog lady, but still really cool. I enjoyed seeing the intelligence and her working to get the Mando to understand, because I feel like there's a tendency in the Star Wars fan base to think that humans are just the OP species and everyone else is kind of like beneath them, which is not true. I kind of wonder how people are going to take her in the hot spring being naked, because for some reason people seem to get really weird about naked women, even if they're from a different species. So I wonder if people are going to be weird about it. I liked it. I thought it was great. I understood why she was doing it, and it showed how much she cared about continuing on her own line, and also made it a lot more fucked up that the child was just nom-nomming on her unfertilized eggs. Gross. Dave Filoni is absolutely a treasure. I will say that every episode. I will say that every second of my life if I need to. Dave Filoni is a goddamn treasure. Seeing him again as a New Republic terrorist X-Wing pilot, I guess, but he's just, the glee in his voice when we got a runner, that's just, can we wrap Dave Filoni just in bubble wrap? And rainbows and sunshine, and his little cowboy hat. Just let them run, Lucasfilm. Just let them run it. KK. It's time to step down. Okay, maybe put Jon Favreau in charge, and Dave Filoni is like a co-person. I do find it funny that the terrorists showed their true colors, where they were like, oh yeah, I'll take the bounty for this, and I'm just gonna leave and not help you do anything, even though clearly you have a woman that has her eggs. I'm sure they didn't know about the eggs, but I'm gonna say it just because fuck the rebels, and fuck the New Republic. Failed after couple decades. You suck! Let's talk about the monster species really quick. So the ice spiders. Honestly, and I know this is just me being excited about my How to Survive a Wampa Attack video. I was really hoping Wampas would be on this planet. I feel like Wampas deserve more than Hoth, and we need to see more Wampa action. The spiders were scary. I don't know exactly what species they were. Maybe the Krachna that we see in Rebels, but they didn't exactly match it. I know that Star Wars does a whole breakdown, StarWars.com, and on their YouTube channel they do little inside things, so maybe by the time you're watching this video they've confirmed the species of spider, and if it is the one we saw in Rebels. I don't know. It's very similar, but there's not exact matching, which is why I'm curious if it's a different species altogether. But if they've confirmed this by now, and just not you saying, oh, I know, but they've actually confirmed it, if you could link it in the comment section down below, that would be great. I love the whole horror aspect of the spiders and them overwhelming, and even, gosh, when they were in the ship and trying to close the door to the cockpit, and they're just spilling in, and he's trying to blast them. It was all, in the child moving and terrified. It was all pretty awful. I'm easily scared though, so that's probably on me, to be honest. Yeah, I did not like. Although I do like, so it's a secret thing, I'm an adrenaline junkie, so I kind of really did like seeing a monster species, or just a creature species in the Star Wars verse. That was terrifying. Lastly, and most important, I really hope Dr. Mandible is not a joke. I also think it's hilarious that Peyton Reed, who's the director of Ant-Man, had an ant-like species named Dr. Mandible in this episode. It was very cute, and I get that it was a nod to him, but I need more adventures of Dr. Mandible. Here is how I'm ranking the episodes as of right now. Number 1 was the best, number 2 was the second best, and this episode was the third best. That list was super exciting, wasn't it?
You're fulfilling your destiny.
I think this was another great episode. I enjoyed season 2, episode 3. I'm not saying it was a bad episode. I will nitpick a little bit more than what I did in my episode 2 review. Also, my episode 1 review that apparently I just never published, so that's awesome. I think the CGI special effects in this episode were pretty bad. I did not like the special effects CGI. I thought it was pretty bad compared to episode 1 and 2. I kind of wonder why that is. And it's interesting that Bryce Dallas Howard directed this episode, and normally I like stuff by her, and I did not like her directing style for this episode. It was weird because I loved this episode. Seeing Bo Katan live action by the voice actress that did her in the Clone Wars, that's insane. That's insane. That's insane that we had the lady that did the animated, oh hey, I'm just gonna do Rebels, I'm gonna do Clone Wars voice acting, not knowing that one day I'm gonna do live action in a beloved Star Wars TV series. It's amazing. I know some people are probably upset because they're like, oh hey, the lady that voices her, it's great you got her, but also she's like over a decade too young to play this character. But it was one of those rare cases where I didn't care that we had someone like, what, 13, 14, 15 years older than the actor portraying it, but don't they always do that in Hollywood? They always do that in Hollywood. Look what they have play teenagers in high school. These fucking dudes that are in their late 20s, and you're like, dude, come on. I have family members that are teenagers. They look like absolute garbage. They don't look like that chiseled, hunky man in his late 20s that you could just fucking do cocaine in the little... Wow, I totally derailed and I forgot what I was talking about. Anyways, I liked this episode. I just didn't like it as much as episode 1 and 2 of season 2. But that doesn't mean it was a bad episode. Not at all. I was talking about Bo-Katan. I loved it. I think that a lot of us were looking for clarification on the not taking the helmet off in Mandalorians, and there have been a lot of jokes about, oh, all these other Mandalorians that we've seen taking off their helmets, they're bad Mandalorians. What happened? And what happened to Mandalore? And then we learn what's going on, and that Bo-Katan needs to get Darksaber back because she wants to be the rightful ruler of Mandalore, and traditionally that's seen as leadership. I think I have a video talking about the history of Darksaber. I'm pretty sure. I can do another one if I didn't. I'm really sorry if I didn't. My apologies. Sometimes I think I do something, but I didn't. And it's bad. So it's kind of cool to see that Bo is going after the Darksaber. Of course, we know Moff Gideon has it. She's going to be going after him. We got the name drop of Ahsoka, which was pretty crazy. I mean, we knew Ahsoka was going to be in this season from all the leaks and rumors, but to actually hear it and that he's heading towards it is super, super exciting. Ooh, okay, talking about leaks and stuff. Do you guys remember Sasha Banks was supposed to be playing Sabine? According to leaks and rumors, but she was just like a random Mando. I think that's great that there was such an outburst like of crying and like, I don't want her to play Sabine. This is fucked up. She's a WWE star. She can't act. Blah blah blah. And then she's just a random Mando. You know, I was like, that's kind of cute. But in general, it's great to see leadership trying to go back to Mandalore. I think that's some really great lore building that we're getting via The Mandalorian. I know a lot of people also complained, why are you setting something between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy, especially that close, about a random Mandalorian? And I feel like we're really getting rewarded. Well, one, we got rewarded by an amazing first season, but then we've been super rewarded in having this just expand the history between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, because that's a lot of fucking time. What? I would guess we're either going to see Ahsoka in episode 4 or 5. I would guess 5 just because Ahsoka is Filoni's baby and he directs episode 5. And I would imagine that Jon Favreau has that level of respect for the absolute angel that Dave Filoni is. Protect him, please. Don't ever say anything mean about Dave Filoni. He just needs to be wrapped in fleece blankets and just cuddled. Just cuddled. And he can wear his little cowboy hat in bed. That's okay. And I'll just tuck him in. And I'll read him a bedtime story from the 5-minute Star Wars stories. I would do that for you, Dave Filoni. And I'll have a cute little Star Wars nightlight for you if you're afraid of the dark. Like, hit me up, dude. I'll do it for free. Kind of losing my mind to see live action, which, if you saw Mon Calamari, which I'm hoping you saw that in the Corin, they were all over in this episode. But the fact that they went all out on them and how good... Okay, those practical effects were good. The other special effects were, don't feel like, bro, still you're talking yourself in a corner, blah, blah, blah. No. Most of the special effects CGI was bad. Mon Calamari. The corn. Great prosthetics. Loved it. Makes me more excited to see Ahsoka and seeing them actually get the head tails right. In a non-creepy way. Because I'm gonna throw this out here. Some of their head tails they've done in The Mandalorian have kind of scared me a little bit. And I don't think they did as good of a job as other live action stuff. Please don't come for me. Or do. Ew, that was gross. Really happy that the child ended up bonding with the frog lady and frog gentleman's babies instead of trying to eat them. I was waiting for him to just shove the thing in his mouth and be like, and then everyone just fucking laughs like, oh, Baby Yoda killing sentient babies. So cute. It's so fucking cute. It's not cute. It's wrong. Grandmas against evil Baby Yodas. Okay, anyways, fantastic episode. Absolutely loved it. If you haven't seen it, I guess I just spoiled a whole bunch for you, so I don't know why you watched the end. Come on. What are you doing? I'm definitely going to watch the episode again. I am more so excited to see Ahsoka, although there is a tiny part of me hoping that maybe Luke pops up somewhere, but I know a lot of people just lose their shit. So let me know what you thought about this episode in the comment section down below. Like, subscribe, and remember, the Empire's amazing, and all that bullshit about stormtroopers not being able to hit anything and then just seeing them slaughtered, fucked up. But seeing the loyalty of Imperial officers, beautiful. 100%. Loyal to the end. That's us.